Hi guys, I will be covering C++11 new features in this part 1. So guys, in the introduction for the C++11 new features I have already described, I have divided it into 8 small parts for your convenient purpose. So in this part 1 actually I will be covering some of the features. In part 2 I will be covering some of the features, and in the similar way I will be covering all the features till part 8 actually. So this part 1 I will be covering these below topics which I have listed here, that is auto, then the second one is initializer list, and third one is the uniform initialization guys. So let's see one by one about these features in detail. So coming to the first feature for C++11 is the auto feature. So let me explain you guys about this. So guys, I have also differentiated in what happened in C++ and what C++11 is providing you, what all differences is there in between them for these features. So let's see it. It will be very easy for you to understand. So guys, for the auto, it will take the storage class as auto if you don't mention any of the storage class. And if you mention explicitly auto keyword actually for when you declare any variable data type, in that case this auto means it is a storage class. So guys, in C++11 how this auto works, let me explain you. So guys, here actually in C++11 the importance of the auto is as follow. So guys, whenever we initialize any variable, by its value type, we get the clarity that what will be the variable type, and so in C++11. So guys, for example, suppose you are initializing some variable, say it is a integer variable, say integer a is equal to 10. So guys, by the value 10 itself, you can understand that the variable, it is storing the 10 that is as integer. So if it is 10.5, that means guys, you will understand by the value, if you are having b as a variable and if its value is 10.5. So by the value 10.5, you will understand that it is having the float data type. It is not storing integer, it is storing the float data type guys. The variable type is a float. So by the value I mean guys, if you are initializing the variable by 10, you understand that its variable data type should be integer. If you initialize a variable by 5.6, you understand that its variable data type is float. If you initialize, suppose there is a C variable, if you initialize its value as in single quote a actually, you understand that since it's storing the character actually, therefore its data type should be character. So this is what the auto means in C++11. Let me explain in detail. So as in you understood now that what I mean, that by the value only in C++11 it will understand what variable data type is stored. That is, if it's storing 10, if it's storing 10.5, it's storing single quote 8, will understand it is an integer, it is a float, it is a character. So in that case guys, you don't need to mention the data type. By the value, whatever you are initializing any variable, by the value itself, it will understand actually that if you mention auto keyword and if you don't mention any data type, no worries. If by the value, whatever you initialize, if you initialize as 10, and if you give the auto keyword, if you don't mention int, it will understand that since it is storing the 10, that means its variable data type should be integer. If you are initializing, if you're giving an auto keyword and if you are having b variable and if you are initializing value as 10.5, it will understand yes, it is storing float. If you are having c variable as an auto keyword you are using, you're not mentioning any data type, you're not mentioning char, you're writing simply auto c is equal to single quotes a. So by the value that is single quote a, it means it's storing character. That means by its value itself, the compiler will understand that since you are using auto keyword and you are initializing by the value that is single quote a, that means the data type should be character. So it won't be any issue. So, and I hope you understood now You don't need to mention any data type in case of C++11. If you mention only the auto keyword, if you write the name of the variable and if you initialize the value, the compiler itself will understand that what data type it is supposed to have. So guys, I have also explained you in this example also. So see guys, in this example I have given you, so in the C++, so guys, I have mentioned in C++, not C++11, and C++, whenever you are initializing any value, suppose you are writing double A 2.4. So you know double is the data type, A is the name of the variable, and 2.4 is the value. So you have to define, define everything in this form actually. So you have to mention the data type, name of the variable, and value. But guys, in C++11, if you just mention the auto keyword, you write the name of the variable, that is A, and you mention just its value. So by 2.4 and by auto keyword in C++11, it will understand that it is having the data type as double. So guys, this is what I want to explain you. So this is another example for a convenient purpose. So this example is in this manner. There is functions actually. So guys, this is a main function. You know what is a main function? It is an entry point to start the execution of a program. So when you compile the program, your compiler starts the execution of the program from this main function. So whatever instructions you will be writing in the main function, that will be executed line by line sequentially. So guys, you are having a main function, you are having some function in this case. So guys, what this is doing in case of C++11, I'm having integer main actually, I'm having the function name as sum. So I'm calling the sum function from the main function and I'm passing two arguments in it, that is 10 and 5. So when this function is called, the control comes to this definition. Then it will store A as 10, B as 5 and return A plus B, that is 10 plus 5 is 15. So it will return integer that will be collected here guys in this variable say add. So guys, you can see since it is C++11, I'm just mentioning auto. So you can understand this return is giving as 15. So the value what add is getting is 15. So by the value itself, the compiler will see this, you are using this auto keyword and it's having the value 15. That means it will understand that this add, that is the name of the variable, it's having the data type as integer. So this works actually in case of C++11. So guys, this calling function actually, I have mentioned that some will lead to a value, int value, to which variable add is initialized and so it is allowed. So guys, note point for this auto actually, when you are not supposed to use auto in C++11, I mentioned it here. So auto keyword cannot be used as function parameters as below. So you cannot use auto keyword as a function parameter as below. So guys, you cannot use like this is the name of the function subtraction and you're using auto. So this is not at all allowed guys. So please make a note actually what all is allowed, what all is not allowed. You can go through it once again. So guys, coming to another example of the auto for the for loop. So auto ranged based for the for loop. So let's see for loop using the auto keyword in case of C++11. So guys, you are having a program in this form. You are declaring the header file in this form. Since it's a C++11, you are supposed to give IO stream actually for input output, calling the input output function, that is C in C out. So this is a vector, you will be using a vector. That is the reason actually I have mentioned this hash include vector, since we will make use of vector. So guys, this is a main function. So the execution since starts from the main function, the control comes line by line and executes all these instructions sequentially from this main function. So guys, this main function is having the first line as vector actually, wherein there are two vectors A and B actually, and the second line of instruction is having the third vector. So guys, you can see I have initialized in this form actually. So let's see guys, in case of C++, normal C++, how can I use actually using the for loop, and in case of C++11 for you, how I can use for loop using auto keyword. So guys, in C++ just itself, since guys here, so guys in C++11 what I'm doing, I'm taking this for loop in C++, sorry, in just C++, I'm taking this for loop actually. So since I want, so what will be the motive of my program is that I'm having three vectors. Two vectors I have just declared and third vector actually I have initialized. So guys, what I want to do, I want to fill actually the vector A actually from this vector V, and I want to fill also the vector B from vector V. So in this case guys, in C++ actually how to achieve this actually I have mentioned in this particular portion, how to fill the vector A actually in C++ in from this vector V, and in the second part of this program itself, how to fill the vector B actually from the vector V using C++11. So let's see the first thing in C++, how to fill the vector A from vector V in C++. So guys, this is the case, you are using a for loop. So you know actually how to iterate through the vector actually. I hope you have gone through C++. Actually the vector templates, all these things you have gone through it. This is C++11 where we are studying the new features actually. So guys, in C++, since I want to iterate through the vector actually V one by one so that I can fill the vector A used in the C++. So that is the reason I'm using in this format. STD scope, this you know, this is a scope resolution, then vector, and this in the template you since it's a data type is integer, you need to mention in this triangle bracket open and close like that. An iterator, so this is a iterator which is initial IT, that is we have initialized as v.begin. So my iterator is pointing to the first, to the 0th member actually, that is the number that is having its value 1, and then I'm putting the condition in the second, that is the iterator should not come to an end, and the third one I'm iterating by pre-incrementing it. So I will iterate one by one this vector, and I will be filling this vector A actually in C++. So how to fill actually guys, since this is vector A, so I will be using the function for the vector, that is push underscore back. And I will be, since I'm collecting and iterating through this vector V one by one. So the since iterator is pointing to the 0th element, that is 1. So guys, I'm filling this 1 actually. I'm pushing this value 1 actually in this vector, that is A. So again the for loop comes and then this iterator is incremented, and then since vector, now the iterator is pointing to 2. Now I'm pushing this value 2 in this vector A by calling this function. Again guys, the iterator iterates and then IT is incremented. Then the vector V's iterator is pointing to this second member, that is the value having third value, and then this 3 I'm calling this pushback function, and I'm pushing this 3 value in this iterator, that is A. So in this manner, I'll iterate through this vector one by one actually, and I'll be pushing its value in this vector A. So guys, this is implemented in C++. This you have already studied. Now let's see how to fill vector B actually in C++11. How it becomes easy if you use an auto keyword. This is the main motive actually to explain you in this program using auto keyword for loop. So guys, since in case of C++, you have seen we have to use in this manner. So when it comes C++11, if you mention auto keyword, so you don't need to mention all this stuff actually in this case. You just mention IT and you just write v.begin. So by its v.begin, since this v.begin, you know it's having the value as 1. So since if you are using auto keyword in C++11 and you are, but as I told you, by compiler will understand by its value itself what will be its data type. So it will say yes, it is having the data, it's having its value as 1. That means it's having the data type as 1. So you don't need to mention all these stuff actually in this manner. You just give the auto keyword in C++11 and you just write the name of the variable. You write v.begin. So you are right, by C++11 the compiler will understand you have used auto keyword and its value is int. That means it will by default take this type of data type guys, and then you just mention in this format actually the condition that is not equal to n and then iterate. So guys, and again you are iterating through V vector one by one, and you are pushing in this vector B one by one. So guys, you can understand this becomes so much easy in C++11 if you use an auto keyword. If you see in C++, you have to use all the whole stuff that is in this manner. But in case of C++11, if you use auto keyword, it becomes very simple. So that is the reason I have covered this. So guys, this is all about the auto keyword. So guys, this is what we have done. So then guys, this is just a print to print actually on the console one by one the value that is this, and to get its output. And guys, this is again to print its value actually, that is we are using in this type of the format, that is in case of printing purpose we are doing in this format. So this is item, is item, we are just, since this B actually is having the value 1, 2, 3, 4. So item is equal to, what does it means? It means item is equal to item into 10. So item is, since the first 0th value will have value as 1, 2, 1 value, then this first element will have the value as 2, the second element will have the value as 3. So in this format guys, it will multiply by 10. And so since we are printing actually one by one the value in this format, in this for loop for A, and we are printing this value actually. So you will get that output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since you are printing the value here guys, simply you are printing the value of A actually in this format, and then you are printing the value of B. Since you are multiplying the whatever the vector B is having, that is 1, 2, 3, you are multiplying by 10 actually. So that is the reason you are getting as 10, 20, 30 and 40, 50, all this case. So guys, understand how to use when you are also printing actually. So this is the case you can use in this manner actually when it comes auto. So guys, I'm done with this auto keyword in this auto feature for C++11. So coming to the second feature of C++11, that is Initializer List. So let's see what it is. So guys, when we want to initialize a vector, you know how to initialize. This is a simple thing. So you need to just declare actually std vector v, and you need to push one by one the elements. So you are pushing 1, you are pushing 2, you are pushing 3, 4. In this manner, you have initialized the vector v, and you have filled its element by 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the traditional way in C++. So let's see how to use in C++11 actually. So guys, in C++11 you can simply write in this format, that is std scope resolution vector v is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see in detail how to make use actually. So guys, C++11, it binds a concept to a template called std. So you will come across std scope resolution initializer list in case of C++11 actually, and you can use it in the constructor and function. So let's see what is the main feature, that is std scope resolution initializer list in C++11. Let's see guys. So then you will understand, by the program only you will have a better understanding how you can use this. So guys, this is a main function which you are having in this program. So guys, this main function you are having set of instructions. I will explain you in detail what does it mean. You are having one class that its name is my number, and then guys you are having a constructor. In constructor you are using this format. So this is the feature of C++11. I will explain you in detail how to use it. What is its purpose? So you are having as a parameter as this initializer list guys, template format. And in this particular class you are having a print function where you are printing the value. And this is since you know there are public access specifier, private access specifier. So you have mentioned this public, you are having constructor, you are having print function. In case of private, you are having one member variable, that is mvec actually, that is the vector type, which is storing int value as a template you are using. So guys, now let's see how to understand this feature, that is initializer list. So guys, you are creating an object of this class my number. So you are having this class which I told you now. You are creating the object of it in this format. You are creating the object and you are initializing its value as 1, 2, 3, 4. So what does it mean? How it will work in C++11 using std initializer list? Let me explain in detail. So guys, when you create an object and you initialize it, so since you are creating an object, the control comes to this constructor. Whenever you create an object, it will come to the constructor and you are passing the value as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a constructor will be called, and this value which you are passing 1, 2, 3, 4, this particular thing will be initialized to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are having an initializer list template which is of data type integer, and this v so is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are having all this values stored in it. So how to make use of it? So you can use an auto. The purpose, what is the purpose of auto? I've explained you in the first feature, that if you, by the value itself, actually it will understand that what data type it will be. So you can give auto keyword in C++11. So guys, since b is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, you are using a for loop here. Okay guys, and this if you use std initializer list, you can use a for loop. And by default, actually, it will be iterating one by one actually, and you will be you can push this value 1, 2, 3, 4 in the vector member variable. Since you are having the member variable in this particular class as mvec, which is a vector, it's an empty vector. You are filling this empty vector actually with the value what you have sent from the main function. So in the main function, you are simply creating an object. You are passing this value 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. You're passing this value and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this value will be stored in this initializer list in this v actually, and you will be grasping each value from this v actually through the for loop, and you will be filling your member variable, that is the vector data type. You will be pushing in this vector actually all this value. So guys, you know what is the purpose of auto keyword. So we are using a for loop. You can make use of initializer list in this format. You use a for loop, and then guys you write this particular form actually. So this v is filled with 1, 2, 3, 4. You are passing 1, 2, 3, 4 from the main function. It's filled with 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you use a for loop actually, and then this for loop, and you mention in this format actually itm. So you will have this one by one, the item will this member will be initialized with this item. So the very zeroth element will be the 1 value. So the item will be 1, and you are pushing in this vector 1. Then again it will be iterated actually. So you will be having the first element. So this is the 0th element. This is the first element. First element is second. This is the second element. This is the third element. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0th element is having value 1, first element is having the value 2, second element is having 3, and third element is having 4. So in this manner, the for loop will be iterated one by one, and it will be collected in item, and your vector member variable mvec will be filled with this item one by one in this for loop. So this is how guys you can make use of initializer list actually in this format in case of C++11. And guys, in the second instruction of this main function, you call this through this object, you are calling this function print. So this print function will simply print the value for you. So this is again you are using the for loop and you are printing its value. So this is as simple as it is guys. So I hope you understood the purpose of initializer list. We are passing all these values actually, and we can iterate through this value one by one. Actually, we are filling the member variable mvec with this value which we are initializing. We are filling this vector from this initializer list, that is v, which is initialized to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how guys this works actually for initializer list. Now let's see the third feature, that is uniform initialization in case of C++11. So guys, this is a note down. With C++, everything can be initialized in much the same way, and therefore it is called as uniform initialization. So what it is explaining you the meaning of uniform initialization, why it is called as uniform initialization, because in C++11 everything can be initialized in much same way. Let's see what does it mean, why it is saying in C++11 everything can be initialized in the same way, and that is the reason it is called as uniform initialization. So I have explained you with the examples. You will understand what does it mean actually, why it is called as uniform initialization. So guys, this is different ways you can initialize. So if you want to initialize a dynamic allocated arrays, you can initialize in this format: integer pointer, pi, new int 5. You are mentioning it is having total 5 members. So the 0th member is 1, first member is second member is third. So 0th element is first element is having second value, second element is having third 3 value, third element is having 4 value, and fourth element is having 5 value, guys. So this is the format in which you initialize a pointer actually in dynamically allocated array. You are initializing. So the guys, initializing of an array member variable, this is the second type actually, that is initialization of an array member variable. So guys, this is a way actually. So you're having class A, which is having one member variable, which is having an array as a member variable. It is having a constructor, and you are initializing in this format, guys. That is ARR actually and XYZ. You are initializing this format. So let's see. So guys, this is another way you can initialize. So in the main, you will this is a shortcut actually which I've explained. So what is there in the main function? If you create an object of class A actually, and if you simply initialize, if you pass 3 values in it, then this constructor will be called, wherein suppose if you are passing 10, 20 and 30, so XYZ will be filled by 10, 20, 30, and this array will be filled by 10, 20, 30 simply as it is. Array 3 will then have 10, 20, 30 in this format. So guys, this is the another way actually wherein you can initialize an array member variable. So guys, initialization of STL container, you initialize it in this format in case of C++ 11, that is std vector v1, 1, 2, like that. So guys, this is implicit initialization. So whenever you want to return, you return in this format, and whenever you initialize a function parameter, you initialize in this format. So guys, let's see actually one by one. So you can understand this is why it's a uniform initialization, because it's a similar way of initialization actually of the arrays. So guys, let me explain you in this uniform initialization. There comes picture of these 3 things. By the detail of it, you will understand in more clearly, guys. So there is a initialization list, aggregate initialization constructor, and regular constructor. So these 3 things are there. So I have differentiated between these 3 things, and I will also explain what all priorities are there out of these 3, which is having the highest priority, guys. So guys, let's see one by one what is initializer list, what is aggregate initialization constructor, and what is regular constructor. So let's see one by one. So guys, for explaining this initialization list, I have made a class A actually, that is this class A. For explaining aggregate initialization constructor, I have made the class B, and for explaining the regular constructor, I have made the class C, and I have differentiated so you will understand it more clearly. So this is class A, this is class B. So there is different way actually in which you will be initializing. So that is the reason they are differentiated into aggregate initialization constructor, into regular constructor, and to initializer list, and this is class C. So let's see guys how to achieve one by one. So guys, what is the aggregate initialization? Let's see. So guys, in aggregate initialization, since you know your entry of the execution of a program starts from the main function, you're having a main function, you are creating an object of class A, and you are passing 2 values. One is the integer value, one is the float value. Now let's see actually how it will be initialized using this feature, that is aggregate initialization. So object is created and 2 values are passed. Let's see how it is achieved by aggregate initialization. So guys, since object is created, 2 values are passed, you can see there are no constructor in it. So in case of aggregate initialization, guys, you don't need if you don't mention a constructor, no problem. Actually, whatever you are passing 2 values, one is an integer, second is a double actually. That is, you are passing the value as 5 actually, and you are passing the value as 1.2. So in aggregate initialization, it will just see the data types and it will fill the value accordingly. It will just see the member variables of this class. Yes, it is having 2 member variables, and since you are creating object, you are passing 2 values. If it's not having a constructor, no problem. It will be initializing the first member variable actually, and it will be initializing this first member variable by this value 5, and second member variable, that is double, by this value 1.2. So this is in case of the aggregate initialization, guys. Let's see the second feature, that is regular constructor. So what we use is a regular constructor in day-to-day life. So we are creating an object of this class B, and we are passing 22 and 5.1, that is integer, and then this double. So let's see in regular constructor, we're creating an object. So guys, we are having the constructor in this. We are having two parameters, that is integer double. So we are having this member variable, that is mx and my, and that will be, since we are creating an object, and passing 2 values, its constructor will be called, and x and y will be initialized with this value what we are passing from main function in regular constructor, that is 22 and 5.1. So guys, this x, that is mx, will be filled by this value 22, and then my will be filled by 5.1. So this is regular constructor which we use day-to-day life. And in case of Initializer List, we are creating an object of class C, and we are passing 27 and 9.1. Let's see in case of the class C. So Initializer List, I've already explained you earlier that how to use it. You are using in this format actually, in this, guys. So this constructor will be called, and this value will be in this form, guys. So guys, there are 2 constructors, that is class C is having integer and 2 data members in it, and in the second constructor it's having Initializer List. So guys, please understand, whenever there are different type of scenarios available, always the priority is over the Initializer List. So it will always, if there is a Initializer List, actually there are different constructors. If in one constructor you are having Initializer List, so the priority comes to first Initializer List. So if you are creating an object of C and passing 2 variables, so your control will come here actually, because the priority is Initializer List. This V will be filled by 2 values, that is first is the integer value and the second is a double value. So then you are filling your member variable mx and my actually in this format. That is, since V is having 2 value, one is integer value, another is double. So you are collecting this format, that is star V dot begin, and then if you increment by 1, and if you just write star actually, then it will be increment to the next element actually, and you are filling its value by the double value. So this mx will be filled by the value, that is, since you are passing 27 and 9.1, and its value is initialized in this V is having 27 and 9.1. From this V actually, you are filling this data member of this class C, mx and y in this format. The first value will be 27, the second value will be 9.1, and you have incremented. So this is how, guys, this comes into account. So I hope you understood it very clearly. What is aggregate initialization, what is regular constructor, and what is Initializer List, guys. So guys, I have also told you the priority comes to the Initializer List. So guys, this is just a printing case. I have printed each and value of A, B and C, mx and my have printed. So guys, this I have just made a note down for you, that your class will have an Initializer List constructed, and it takes a priority over the forms. So Initializer List is having the highest priority, guys. So guys, I'm done with covering this few features in this part 1 for C++ 11 actually. Now in the C++ 11 part 2, guys, I will be covering other features, that is, I will be covering the null pointers and static assert. In similar way, guys, in each part 3, 4, 5, 6 till 8, I will cover whole features of C++ 11. This is for your convenient purpose. I have divided the C++ 11 into small part, so that you can refer it in a short time, guys. So guys, please be ready for the next part, that is part 2. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.